Welcome to this explainer on the mental autopilot trap and the two sensations hack. Have you ever driven somewhere and realized, wait, I have absolutely no memory of the last 5 miles? Or maybe you're sitting in a meeting, someone asks you a question, and boom, you realize your mind has literally been miles away for the past 10 minutes. Well, we all experience this. It's this heavy mental fog, a state of constant chaotic thinking that completely distracts us from what's actually happening right in front of us. Today, we're going to explore exactly why this happens. But more importantly, I'm going to share a brilliant physical shortcut, a literal hack, that forces your brain out of this fog and instantly yanks you back into reality. It's incredibly effective, and you can use it anytime, anywhere.
So, I've got to ask you a really direct question right off the bat. Are you actually awake right now, or are you just running on autopilot? We all love to think we're making conscious, deliberate choices every second of the day. But honestly, according to our source material, a huge chunk of our lives is spent just reacting to circumstances, kind of like a machine. We get so habituated and comfortable in this automated thinking that we don't even notice when our thoughts are completely running the show. We aren't really experiencing life, we're just along for the ride, passively being driven by old beliefs and nonstop mental chatter. It's essentially a trance-like state. There's a quote that perfectly illustrates just how high the stakes are here. Anthony DeMello brilliantly put it like this: most people, even though they don't know it, are asleep. They die in their sleep without ever waking up. Wow, I mean, that is a pretty chilling thought, isn't it? Living your whole entire life stuck in a trance, never fully present for your own existence. This really highlights why it is absolutely crucial to recognize when we're stuck on autopilot. Because if we don't activate our awareness, we have almost zero possibility for true growth. We just keep looping the same reactions day in and day out. To really get this, we have to look at the stark difference between actually being in the present moment versus being lost in that mental fog of constant thinking. The source material uses this fantastic analogy that I just love. Think of thinking as a tool, right? Like a wrench or a hammer. Now imagine a plumber who refuses to ever put his heavy toolbox down. He lugs it everywhere, even when he's trying to sleep or relax on the couch. He'd be totally exhausted. Well, that's exactly what we do with our thoughts. We carry this heavy, totally unnecessary mental baggage around 24/7, and it completely disconnects us from the present moment, which is literally the only place where life actually happens. So what does this actually look like in our day-to-day lives? Well, the painful symptoms of automatic thinking are basically everywhere. When we're stuck in this fog, we just blindly react to whatever happens, instead of intentionally responding to it. We find ourselves trapped by these distorted beliefs, constantly rehashing the past or projecting all our fears into the future. And the really big one, we start treating our thoughts as absolute facts, instead of just recognizing them as passing mental events. And the ultimate result? Chronic stress, anxiety, and just feeling like you're being tossed around in a tiny boat on a stormy sea.
Now, at this point, you might be thinking, okay, I get it. I just need to practice mindfulness. But let's be real for a second. Traditional mindfulness can feel incredibly vague or honestly just plain impossible when you're already overwhelmed. When you're right in the middle of a chaotic, stressful day, having someone tell you to just clear your mind feels like a joke, doesn't it? Our source notes that we've really lost the ability to just enjoy existence without constantly trying to fix it. And because pulling your attention back to the present takes so much effort, we usually fail when the stress is really high. We need something more concrete than just telling ourselves to focus.
And that brings us to the absolute core of this explainer, the two sensations shortcut. Actually, I want to slow things way down for a second, because I want you to physically do this exact exercise with me right now. Are you ready? Okay. Step 1, pick 2 points on your body. Let's use your hands. Step 2, rub your thumb and index fingers together on both of your hands. Go ahead, do it right now. Step 3, notice the physical sensations happening in both hands at the exact same time. Feel the ridges of your fingerprints. Notice the pressure, the temperature. Keep rubbing those fingers together and focus intensely on that feeling in both hands simultaneously. Okay, stop for a sec. Notice how your mind feels right now. The mechanics of why this just worked are brilliant. Your brain literally cannot maintain its runaway train of anxious thoughts while simultaneously forcing itself to focus on 2 distinct physical points. It's like a short circuit for your stress. By demanding your brain process 2 different tactile inputs at the exact same time, you're forcing your mind completely out of its mental loop. You're using your own physical body as an anchor to instantly ground your racing mind. It is a hack that completely bypasses the mental fog.
What we just achieved right there is a state of awareness. But let's be super clear about what that actually means. Awareness is not some mystical, out-of-reach state meant only for monks meditating on a mountain somewhere. It's a highly practical, everyday tool. Think of it as a short mental pause that shoves a wedge right into your automatic thinking, breaking that trance-like state we talked about earlier. Without that beautiful little spark of awareness, you're just a reacting machine. But the second you trigger it, like we just did with our fingers, you're taking the crucial first step to regaining control of your life.
The really interesting part is what happens once we hit that state of awareness. It pulls your attention completely into the present moment, totally without judgment. And that is huge. When you use a physical landmark to snap back to reality, it's really just about observing what's happening right here, right now. You aren't trying to fix the situation, you aren't beating yourself up for getting distracted, and you certainly aren't overanalyzing your stress. You're just saying, I'm here and I'm experiencing this moment. You're stepping completely out of the flood of thoughts and standing on solid ground.
So let's quickly review our primary tool. Quick hack number 1, focus on 2 sensations. I highly recommend making this your absolute go-to landmark. Whenever you feel that familiar tightness in your chest or you notice your mind racing a million miles an hour, default to this. Rub the thumb and index finger together on each hand and focus on those fine sensations simultaneously. It takes zero equipment, nobody around you even needs to know you're doing it, and boom, it provides an immediate wedge against the mental fog. It is absolutely your secret weapon.
But wait, the source material gives us a couple more brilliant little hacks. Quick hack number 2, relax your tongue. Okay, this one is absolutely fascinating. When we think, even silently to ourselves, our brain actually engages its language center, and our tongue makes these tiny microscopic movements. It's wild. So if you want to calm your mind instantly, relax your jaw and gently touch your tongue to the roof of your mouth. By intentionally relaxing the tongue, you're physically disengaging the brain's language center. It is incredibly difficult to keep an anxious inner monologue going when your tongue is totally relaxed. Seriously, try it next time you're overthinking.
And that leads us to quick hack number 3. Use peripheral vision. This is actually based on a Hawaiian technique called haka-lau. When we get stressed out, our vision naturally narrows into a super tight, focused point. It's part of our evolutionary fight or flight response. To hack this, pick a single point in front of you and then intentionally expand your visual field to take in your side vision. Try to see as much of the room around you as possible without actually moving your eyes. Expanding your awareness into your peripheral vision activates the right hemisphere of your brain and rapidly dissolves physical tension. It is an incredible way to force your body to relax.
Now, these hacks might sound almost too simple, but their impact is absolutely profound. There's a beautifully simple quote from the text, shared by an AA member named Linda. She says, "Being aware is being alive." That really brings the whole shebang full circle, doesn't it? The simple act of noticing physical sensations, or relaxing your tongue, or expanding your vision, these aren't just clever little tricks to lower stress. They're direct pathways to the joy of truly living. Because when you step out of the mental fog, you are finally awake. You're participating in reality instead of hiding from it.
So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a real challenge. What will you choose to be aware of in your next moment? Because as soon as this is over, you have an opportunity. You can slip right back into that autopilot trance, or you can use your new mindfulness shortcuts. Rub those fingers together, relax your tongue, open up your vision, take that short mental pause, insert the wedge, and wake up to your life. The tools are literally right there in your hands. Thank you so much for joining me today, and seriously, put these into practice immediately. Stay focused and stay awake.